You are now live.
We're live. Can take these off. I don't need them anymore. Hello, everybody. Shine babes. How's it going? Linda here with the beautiful Amy Starr Allen for our Wednesday night live forum sessions. So I don't know who's in here.
Ooh.
Please come in and introduce yourself. Tell us you're here. Tell us where you're from. You know, we're calling in women from all around the world, so it's so cool to see where you guys are coming from. I can't see your chat right now, but I will see it after.
I've got it.
Okay, good. So, who came just to see my hair?
We have Kath and Linda. Hi, Kath and Linda.
That's okay.
Look at this. Linda, the Storm Leland. You guys have been following her.
See my my little project for today, my extensions, which are so fun. It's kind of weird, but anyway, it's kind of a big to-do on our page in the forum today. I kind of filmed the whole thing in this really cool salon that I wish all of you could see. You know, these women in this salon are just so authentic. The way that they dress and the way that they walk and hold themselves, and every one of them is curvy. And none of them hide it. Their tops are tucked in. They have belts. Their shoulders are back, and they just walk with the attitude of, "Can you get a load of this?"
I love it.
You know, they're just unbelievable example of authenticity and all kinds of beauty and strength. So it's a really cool place. And I was telling on the live today, I was there last week to have a haircut, and this beautiful woman. She has, I said, those extensions, your hair was so beautiful. And I said, I've always wanted to do that, but nobody ever has the gray hair or silver like I'd want. She said, oh, we can totally do that. And she said, some profanity here. She said, she didn't whisper it. She didn't, because it was in the middle of the whole salon. This is how this salon is. She said, you have so got to do it. We're going to put some extensions in and you're going to be a fucking storm. And I was like, oh, who doesn't want to be a storm? Sign me up. So I made the appointment for today and had them done, and they just feel so fun. But I knew I was going to go gray. I always, knew I wanted to keep it current and still not feel like, I had that helmet cut. Just either cut it short and funky or long. So I'm going to have fun with it. Okay. So tonight's topic is that love makes good decisions. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. And we're going to I want this to be an open discussion. I want us all to try to learn to trust that and to uncover anything that keeps us from trusting that. So I have a question for you guys, all of you out there listening, even those of you watching the replay, because many of you will be doing that. So who out there knows somewhere deep in their heart that love is what can overcome anything? Give me a yes, please. Give us a yes in the comments. Who believes that to be true? That love actually can heal, overcome, transcend anything, any issue, any problem. Give us a yes in there. I have another question I want to ask you guys as we get going. And Amy, you can field these comments. I'd love to hear some of them when they come in. So I want you to give me one word. It's one word that you're comfortable with, okay? Knowing that love can overcome anything. But is there one place in your life, one aspect of you or that's going on in your life right now that you hate, that's causing you a lot of discomfort and that you're dealing with in some unloving way? That you don't trust love to handle it, so you're trying to fix it on your own. And just give us your one word. No judgment here. Maybe something about your body or your finances or some relationship or an addiction, anything, whatever. Is there some place in your life that you don't trust love to do the trick? Because there's a place like that for all of us. So we just want to talk with you guys about this tonight and explore this. And I know when I started doing all of this work, I didn't even quite know how to bring love to any of my decisions. What did it even mean? To me, love was always romantic and hallmarky. And that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about real love. And when somebody explained this to me, I carry this with me every day and in every decision I make. So what is real love? You guys tell me if you have a word for it, a way of explaining it. I'm sure there's so many ways. I would love to hear that in the comments. I will read them all. But the best explanation of love that I have ever heard is love allows all things. Love embraces all things, and love transcends all things. Okay? So if you are not allowing what's happening, if you are not embracing what's happening, and how do we define embracing? I guess, I don't know, it feels like gratitude in knowing that it's unfolding perfectly, even if it's not going the way you think it should be going. So when we allow all things and we embrace all things, that's when love transcends all things. Okay? Anything that is not allowing and embracing is not love. To say that I will love you when you're different, when you're better, when you're changed, when you fill in the blanks, that's not love. That is an imposter. Call it by another name. So we're talking about trusting in this type of love. I think it feels almost irresponsible to look at something within us that we really feel needs to be fixed, that we really feel that isn't okay, and loving it, right? I think it feels so irresponsible sometimes, but it's absolutely the most responsible way of dealing with any problem that we could have. It's counterintuitive from what we've been taught how to fix and how to manage and how to control, right? But the reason we do most everything that we do in this life is to feel love. Everything. Like, if there's anything that you do or that goes on in your life or you're not struggling with, is not in some attempt to feel loved or to feel safe, tell us all what it is, because I've found nothing in anyone. So we got to start at the finish line. We got to start with the love. And we got to go to the end and start there, not try to fix ourselves to get there. And, we're always trying to change something so we feel more lovable. So we don't feel rejected. So we feel safe. So we feel respected. We end up living like turning on ourselves. We turn away from ourselves because we end up feeling so guilty and fearful and worried and shameful. And we actually continually attract and continue to attract the thing we do not want, right? We've heard it. We've all heard it. I didn't make it up. What you resist persists. It's true. Resistance is the single greatest block to finding loving solutions, okay? To being guided. And that guilt and that shame that we feel, and all that worry and anxiety and fixing cannot coexist with love. It's got to be one or the other. And, anything that's, I think, out of balance in us, especially things that are chronic, that we've been struggling with long term, any pain or problems that just don't seem to go away, it is always because of some lack of love within us, some lack of that love that I was talking about, of allowing and embracing. And then that love is what transcends. And, when we're in fear, we're dealing with fear, we're actually feeding the problem. And we're starving the solution. And, it's so obvious in my life and all of our lives. Like when you're in love, like when you have that in love feeling, or when you're maybe working on a project that is in alignment with who you are, that you're so excited about, or even just when you're having a really good day, when you're having a great day, every single thing, you're just in a really good headspace up here, right? those negative voices aren't loud that day. You're feeling really good. Everything just seems to work out. It's like magic, but it's not a coincidence. And those days when we're having a really crappy day, when we're having a crappy day, it is always because we are not allowing and embracing. We are not in a state of love. We are being hard on ourselves. We have some unloving thoughts running amok. And when we have that kind of bad day, everything goes wrong. It is a shitstorm. One after another, like, what more can happen? And like I said, that is certainly no coincidence. That is the spiritual nature of the universe. When I first met my husband, God bless this man. I was such a control freak. I was such a planner, such a manager. And I was always planning. It would be Monday. I'm like, what are we doing this weekend? Or it would be September. Like, what are we going to do for Christmas? And everything needed to be a plan, everything. And he would say to me, can we just, Linda, please see how this unfolds. That was his famous saying. I'm like, who does that? No, we cannot. But that's just how he lives his life. And if you knew this man, we've been together for 20 years, and it's not that he is void of passion or excitement in his life. He has hobbies. He has a great career. He's just a guy with a full life, but he has never, ever been in conflict. Never. I'm not saying problems haven't happened, all sorts of problems, but he is never in conflict. I've heard about living this way. He's just such a state of allowance with everything and in a state of embrace with life that conflict is just not what he does. And I see it work through him. Any other planners out there, any other control freaks out there, let me know. And I'm really not anymore. I'm not really comfortable planning or fixing anymore. I was going for my run this morning and I bumped into somebody on the street who has been through a really hard time. And they knew I knew they were going through a hard time. And he pulled over and he said, I need to talk to you. I'm pretty upset that you have not reached out to me. And I know I've been struggling. And of course, I said, I'm sorry. I'm not that good at maybe reaching out all the time. And I know how important it is when I'm going through something when somebody reaches out. And I always say, I wish I was better. But one of the things I kept, I used to try to fix everybody. I just don't do it anymore. And try to fix everything. And I just don't do it anymore. Not that I shouldn't have reached out. Not that there's not some value to that, but it just really got me to kind of see some of the changes in me. And so, kind of like in a nutshell, getting back to this, when we're allowing, when we're embracing, when we're in that state of love, we are having generally, our thoughts are positive. Like those good days I was telling you. When your thoughts are positive, your emotions are positive. And when your emotions are positive, your actions are always positive. And letting love guide you. It's not even like we have to consciously be loving all the time and choose loving thoughts. That's a really good idea. But love is who we are. It's what we're made of. It's what keeps pulling at us. So simply by learning to quiet the negative voices, the fearful knee-jerk reactions, to notice them and quiet them, love is what comes forward. That those answers just come forward. I think the best downloads I have ever had are when I'm listening to music. I'm in that blissed out state. I'm listening to music, or I'm just walking, or I'm in the shower. They always come to me in the shower, or when I'm quiet or in meditation. And when I take my hands off the wheel, I get these downloads. Tell me where you get your greatest downloads. And I want to hear it. I can bet that it's not when you're scrambling or in conflict or searching for the right answer. So another practice that that's so powerful that I want to share with you. So yes, it's quieting the fear, knowing what it sounds like. So whatever this situation is for you, if you guys put a situation down that you have not trusted love to handle completely, whatever that situation is for you, I challenge you to get a piece of paper and put a line down the middle. Write your situation at the top. And on one side, right, or if there's a decision you're trying to make, write down what would love do. And on the other side, write down what would fear do, or how would love see this, and how would fear see this. And your next move, whatever it is that you are to do, for the greatest outcome for you and everybody involved will be vividly clear. Because you'll feel motivated by the solutions and the ideas and the thoughts that come from love. And you'll feel totally drained by the thoughts and the actions that can come from fear. You know, and love isn't always wishy-washy. Love isn't always saying yes. Love isn't always staying. Love isn't always doing the easy thing. But you'll know which way to go. But we have to get so clear because that fear can just run us into the ground. You know, at any given moment, you can choose love. And it takes no mental effort on your part. You know, when you do that, you just make yourself open to every idea necessary for the unfoldment of your completeness and the completeness for everybody involved. Because wherever love is, our harmonious experiences must occur. Maybe not the easiest ones, but the most harmonious ones. Like this is the spiritual nature of the universe. And I love, for those of you who know me or don't know me, I love to show this to women when it comes to food, when it comes to their relationships with their body or hating their body or trying to get healthy, and trying to make any changes. And you can apply this to anything. Whatever your situation is, you can apply this to anything. But we'll just use the example because it's the one so familiar to me right now. But when you're trying to change your body or change your eating habits from a place of hate or a place of fear, it's not going to go well. It's really not. Like I said, you're going to keep perpetuating the same problem. The decisions that you make when you learn to be in total gratitude and in total love and total allowance and embrace with yourself right now before anything is any different, my God, the decisions that come from love are always good. The choices are always good. And it seems so simple because it actually is. The hardest thing to do is to remember. And for anyone curious, I know many of you are probably already registered, but on the 19th of August of this month, from the 19th to the 22nd, I'm going to show this to you. I'm doing it's a free training. It's called the Spiritual Weight Loss Method. And for 4 nights, we're going to hang out together and we're going to talk about how this works. And so I just love showing women because this is such a great place for most all of us to show the difference and the different decisions that come from love than the ones we're so used to coming from hate or from discomfort or just coming from thinking we ought to be better than we are. And a healthy body can never come from that mindset. So I just have another question for you guys before I hand it over and open it up and look at some of the comments. That situation that you have admittedly trying to take on yourself and try to fix in an unloving way, has it ever worked? Give me a yes or a no. So I know which comment you're referring to, saying yes, it's worked, or no, it's never worked. I'd love to hear this. Because this is what it's all about. This is where everything changes. This is how we uplift ourselves as women. And it's not from beating ourselves into submission. It's from the changes in the way that we unfold into the artwork that we are when we allow ourselves to love ourselves now. And then the behaviors just show up to match. The things we've been trying to change for so long become natural. They naturally show up to match our inner state. So we're going to talk about that August 19th to the 22nd. It's called the Spiritual Weight Loss Method. So we're going to be applying this to food, but like I said, you can apply it to anything in your life right now. So I challenge you to take your situation, to really do this, to write down, to get clear on what the voice of fear sounds like for you. And what the voice of love, the voice of allowing and embracing sounds like in this situation. And if nothing comes to you, if there's no action in the voice of love, oftentimes there is no action. But when you are in that space of love, whatever it is you're called to do, you will be shown and you'll be in a position to hear it and carry it out like magic. So nobody can want this for you. No, you gotta crowbar yourself out of this repetitive comfort zone, which probably isn't even that comfortable, and enter into this situation with a whole new way of being, with whole new eyes. Because whatever you're trying to do, if your action isn't loving, it really isn't getting you anywhere. It doesn't mean much, no matter what it is. So I'm going to go check out some of the comments right now and see if there's any questions. Or Amy, has there any that I haven't been able to see?
Yeah. So let's see. We've got some of the things that people said as far as what was the original question? The way you worded it. What?
The original question was, do you believe that love can overcome anything?
Okay, so people said yes, and then you asked for an example of some place that it hasn't worked to.
Is there some place in their life, some situation or problem or issue that's causing them discomfort where they do not trust love?
Okay, so some of the answers that we've gotten for that are addictive food, social anxiety, heartache, betrayal, and somebody loves your husband. Jennifer is a control freak. And then everybody said, no, it's never worked for the last question that you asked. But I don't know if you want to speak to some of these issues people have put in: addictive food, social anxiety, heartache, betrayal.
So they're all, it's easy for us to see that these are all states of fear. These are all states of feeling like something's broken, something in us or about us is not right. And it's easy to see for all of you that there's some sense of resistance there. Let's talk about social anxiety. I don't know who said that, but are you trying to force yourself to do things because you think you should? Are you beating yourself up for that?
Gloria,
are you not compassionately allowing yourself to do whatever you need to take care of that and listening to what's needed in a loving way? Do you have more fear associated with this, more worry, more brokenness, more shame, more guilt than you do love? And or anything we want to apply to this, they're all different states of fear. And like I said, I'm asking all of you, what do you bring to this? Do you bring resistance, or do you bring love, which that state of allowing it right now? This is where you are, embracing it. It's here to show you something, being grateful for it. What are you here to teach me? Where are you here to show me love? Where are you here to show me where the lack of love? So the situation is just what it is. There's just two separate ways of approaching it that we're talking about here that transcend anything.
I can speak a little bit about the I don't know if betrayal is the word, but it might kind of hit home for somebody. Um, I have recently been going through some struggles with custody with my ex-husband, and I've had a lot of, like two different ways of looking at the situation, one from love and one from fear. Mostly, I was just completely tied up in the state of fear um, about losing my kids and like just, this whole battle. It's like a battleground where we're fighting over our most, precious commodity, our kids, and I didn't sleep for weeks and I was just sick about it. And I was getting legal advice. And of course, the legal advice was fight, fight, fight. And I finally like woke up one day and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is going to kill me, really. And when I was finally, and of course, thank God, well, I have Linda in my life because she helped me a lot to come back to a place of love, and be able to I'm going to get emotional here. This just has been some of the hardest times of my life, but to just approach the situation from a place of love, like, and I saw that all I want to do, my ultimate goal here is not to win anything. It's to heal my family. And the only way to do that is
That's
to come from
huge, clear example of love.
Yeah. And the only way to do it is from a place of love. And the only the all I could see to do was to just put down my drop my shield and just forgive and be an example of love for my kids with my ex-husband, who I didn't even think it was possible, but I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it, but I just wanted to use this as an example. I guess it just came up to use because it's like the most extreme thing. Like I remember in the beginning, I was like, he can't do this. He can't do this. And all I could think about was fear and fighting. And I was in constant communication with Linda in the beginning of this whole thing. And she really helped me to see the other side, because sometimes when things are so bad and there's so much at stake, we have a hard time choosing love because we're so caught up in the fear. But love makes way better decisions. And coming from love has helped me to heal my family, and without fighting. It feels so much better. I can sleep at night. I used to, before I would go to bed at night, I would be writing in my journal all of the things, all of the defenses that I wanted to use if this had to go to court, whatever, you know what I mean? Like all of the reasons why I'm right, he's wrong.
And then I would go to,
and then I couldn't sleep. And that would be like in my brain all night, and it's like, it doesn't serve anybody. It wasn't going to serve my kids for me to approach it that way either. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's an extreme example, but
let me just also say, Amy, because I went through this with you, and I'm so glad you brought it up. And there were a few other things that you were going on in your life right around that time that you decided to approach love. And it was like 48 hours, everything just resolved itself in the most beautiful way. But I just want to say that I know you had other very well-meaning people around you saying, hang them by the balls.
Yep.
fight the good fight. And I think I may have been the only one that said, I don't think that that's a good idea. And you were really clear on that's too scary. If I let my defenses down, if I show up love, then you thought I am the weak one. He is running, what did you say, steamrolling me or something like that.
Bulldozing me.
Bulldozing me. And I love this because, when you decided to come from a place of love, like you just became bigger than any bulldozer, like no bulldozer could touch what you brought to your family. So I'm so glad you brought that up. It's amazing to watch.
Well, and thank you, Linda, for being with me every step of the way. She saw me in the deepest depths of darkness that like I've ever been in my life. And this woman, like, she just kept her hand out, pull me up, pull me up, pull me up, reminding me about this exact conversation that we're having right now. And it fucking saved me. I don't know what I would have done without her, seriously. Because like she said, most of the other people in my life who love me and care about me wanted me to fight and said, you got to fight, you got to fight, you got to fight. And anyway, I'm so glad. I am so glad that you helped me to see the light. So
it was my pleasure. And I'm very careful about who I talk to when I am in the cooker, when I'm in the middle, the thick of crap in my life. I'm very careful about who I talk to. I know the people that are gonna in going to fan the flame of conflict, and the people that are going to remind me what would love to hear, remind me to go back to that. So it's important you're gonna get, you ask 100 people, you're gonna get 100 different answers, but it's important that you know who to talk to. And that's why I love this forum. We're going to be a place for everyone, every one of you. And especially in our membership room where we're doing all these different coaching topics every month, we're going to be a place where we will always remind you what you're made of. And it's scary. It's scary to lay down your sword.
it is.
Especially with yourself. I mean, people say, oh, I'm afraid to let love guide me when it comes to food or addictions. And you can't beat yourself better. You just can't beat yourself into change. So, and like I said, once you're in that place of love, it's not like you just allow and you embrace and nothing happens. You just this lump of allowing. But you just wait until the guidance that you know is the best thing, and it will come. It will always come at the perfect time, not your time. But you stay in that state and you will know exactly what to do.
Yep. Gloria says she's getting it. And Kathy says, I'm finally getting it. Jennifer says, I have a feeling just talking about this love as a tool has reminded me how easy it can be. Showing love to others is showing love to ourselves. Love brings a calm to the storm.
And there's no situation where anger and hate or fear is, unless you're being chased down the street by a dinosaur, run. Be full of fear. But there's no situation within us that anger and fear and fight and attack is ever going to be the answer. It's never going to get you where you want to go. I love that that is the spiritual nature of the universe, and it is that cut and dry.
Yep. Kathy says, took 69 years, but I'm now getting it.
Perfect timing, Kath. Perfect timing.
Awesome. I'm starting to cry again.
We don't even know how many lifetimes this takes us. I mean, we're here though. You guys, we're here. We're doing it. And it's never too late.
That's right. I realized too, I know Linda was talking about her spiritual weight loss method training free training that she's doing, and I realized that I did not put the link in the description. So I will after we get off of here, but I'm just going to say it right now in case anybody is, or I can put it in the comments for now. But it's just, and then she shines.com/weight loss. I'll put it in the comments for now. And then when this is over, I'll put it in the description as well. And inside this forum, you'll see some image posts that have the link in it as well. I know a lot of you have already registered, but I just wanted to it's in the comments now. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I know Linda was talking about it and we didn't tell you how to register for it. But this is an opportunity to spend 4 nights with Linda going through this process in relationship to food. It's going to be powerful and it's free. And so I highly recommend taking advantage of that.
So, anybody out there, the situation that came to your mind, you're here listening to this, are you, and I really want you to answer me honestly, because I'm very curious. Give me a yes, a maybe, or a no, thank you. Are you going to do the writing exercise? Are you going to write your situation on the top of a piece of paper with a line down the middle and see how love would respond to this situation, how love would think about this situation, how love would behave, and how fear would? Are you going to approach this situation differently? Are you going to take action in a new way? Let's see. I don't see.
Yes, Gloria, there will be replay. If you register for the spiritual weight loss method, you're going to get access to all the replay videos as well. Absolutely. One of the ways that I like to think about this approach too, and I learned it from my father. He didn't teach it to me in these words, but like when Linda talks about what would love do, I always think about like the way that my father passed away last year, but he was my biggest mentor, teacher, and my best friend. And I noticed, like I got it like a kind of a download from the universe. It was probably from my father after he passed away when I was dealing with all of this stuff that I was just talking about. But it was about taking the path of least resistance. Like that was the answer that came to me.
There you go.
And that is another way. And when you think about like what would love do, the way that I think about it now is what's the path of least resistance? Like I kept thinking about examples. Like I watched my father, like here's an example that he did. So he moved here to be closer to us and got a place. He had this really nice condo down a couple miles down the road, and he had Parkinson's, and he got to the point where he needed assistance. He couldn't keep going up and down the stairs and living in a place with stairs by himself and everything like that. And we needed to get him out of there and move him in with us. And his landlord we had to break his lease. And I found another tenant to move in. He didn't damage anything. I mean, he barely, you know what I mean? He was just living there by himself and the place was in great shape. And she was actually raising the rent so that she was going to be actually making more money by him breaking his lease because the people moving in were going to be paying more and everything. But she was still so mean about it. She wouldn't give him his deposit back, which was $2,000. And I was like ready to fight her. I was like, she can't do that. Like we found another tenant. Like he's like, let her have it. I don't, it's not worth it, and I couldn't even believe it, like I was like, how do you just walk away? Like she needs to be put in her place, and he was like, no, nope, not worth the energy. Don't want to go there. And that's how he was. And it's not like he was a pushover, but he just really, he just didn't want to, he just wanted to take the path of least resistance in every way possible. And so I really learned, I didn't even realize how much I learned from it at the time. But now when I'm in a situation, I think about that. Like, what's the path of least resistance here? It might be with a decision with something that's come up with one of my kids, or with my ex, or in business, or I'm dealing with lawyers right now because of the probate stuff, like just all this conflict stuff. Like, you can apply the path of least resistance to any of that. And I find that it's just like every time I do it, I'm like, this is like, why doesn't everybody do this? It's so much easier.
Mhm.
It works out for the better. It works out better than like fighting people for stuff. Like, usually I get a better outcome than I could have fought for. An outcome that I couldn't have even imagined possible.
Same.
So,
Like, who says your plan is the best one for everybody involved?
mm,
Nobody. And until you lean in and take your hands off the wheel and take the path of least resistance, like Amy so beautifully said, how are you going to know? How are you going to actually see that love does make good decisions, that you can trust this? It's like I always say that it's like that fallback game when you're a kid and you fall back and someone catches you. The universe can't catch you. Love can't catch you if you don't fall back.
yep.
And in the path of least resistance, the greatest block we have to the ultimate guidance for us and for everyone involved is resistance. That's the biggest blocker, drowner, outer going on in all of us. You got to try it to find out.
Yep. You're welcome, Gloria. Love makes good decisions. Yes, it does.
Always.
Rebecca says, yes, I will absolutely do the writing exercise. Of course she will. She's Rebecca. I have
Gloria said it. A bunch of people said it, but I can't see all the comments right now.
a situation I've been working with since at least February. I've been very weary of approaching this without being an absolute love getting there. That's Rebecca.
What did she say?
She said, yes, I will absolutely do the writing exercise. I have a situation I have been working with since at least February. I have been very weary of approaching this without being an absolute love getting there.
Mm. And that's awesome, Becky. I'm so glad. Like, the good love is always there. This isn't a writing exercise so that you're worthy of love, so that you can do it right. It's just to get to recognize the difference, and to give yourself the opportunity to let love heal this situation, because it always will. There is not a situation this doesn't work for, not one. It would heal our whole entire planet immediately.
Yeah. Tracy says, hi, Trace. Tracy's one of my oldest and dearest friends.
Hi,
She
Tracy.
says, I love for a living and I wake up happy to go to work every day. She's a nurse.
Oh, nice.
And her patients love her because she is pure love. And so I love that, because some people could look at that job like there could be suffering in that job because you're dealing with people that are suffering, right? But she sees it as an opportunity to love people.
Tracy, thanks for showing up like that. Anyone who's ever been in the hospital, the difference when somebody comes in, they're totally burnt out, and the difference when somebody comes in and they sometimes just they're present with you. They love what they do, and it's a huge difference in the way you feel, because you're so vulnerable in there. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your patients are lucky to have you, Trace. That's for sure.
Yep.
And she's funny. Like, I know she's probably cracking dirty jokes and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, she works with the severe disabled.
Oh, wow. I am so healing thanks to following both of you right here. Awesome, Gloria. So how do we get more of that love into our lives? Do we just choose it? Awesome, Jennifer. And I don't know you, but you've been in the forum and you've been there a while. And I think one of the last pieces of advice that I said to you, the download that I get when I read your comments and you sent me a couple of emails, is to stop being so hard on yourself. And that really, what happens there is you quiet the fear and the guilt and the shame and the judgment. And then love is what is left. This isn't even something like, you are love. You don't have to try to find out how to be it. And the writing exercise is just so you could recognize which voice was going on and which one to follow. Unfortunately, love is not as loud as fear. It's quiet, but it's steadfast. It never leaves you. So, Jennifer, I'm going to stick with what I said to you before. You are absolutely amazing the way you show up here. Amazing. We missed you when you took a little hiatus. But for you, continue to stop being so hard on yourself, and love will come forward.
And that's the beauty of having a community like this, because we can remind each other.
Mm-hmm.
We can remind each other when we're being too hard on ourselves, or, just help people come from a place of love instead of fear. If you see that somebody's making decisions from fear, that's what this community is for. We're all on the same page here, and we're all raising the bar. That's why we're here. So,
and all the things that we all want from whatever the outcome of these situations, or these healing these addictions, or whatever in us that we wish was different. Everything that we want, whether it's, more attention, more abundance, more feel safe, like love actually provides all of that, like nothing else can. That's why I said, like, start with the end in mind. It's all right there. And it's hard to really explain it. It's like you don't know what you don't know when you're in a state of fear. But it's when you start to just kind of shift your perception about a specific situation or about yourself, it's like like somebody flipped a light on. Like you can breathe. I can't explain it. It's just the world changes before your eyes in a way that I can't really describe right now. And you just do become your healthiest, most beautiful, peaceful self. Things work out. Things just work out.
it's true.
Like crazy. Like,
yeah, they do. And like Linda was saying before, she witnessed my life completely changing like that in like a bunch of different areas. That's how fast it can change when you lay down the sword. It's amazing. It really is. And it does take a lot of trust and surrender. It's not easy. We're not saying it's easy. But the more you do it, you'll see life is easier when you do it this way.
One of the things I love about A Course in Miracles is what a miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love. And one of my favorite things that it says in there is that if miracles aren't a natural, frequent occurrence in your life, something has gone wrong.
Yep.
Okay, so when you're in alignment, when you're consciously trying to live from a state of love over fear, recognizing the difference, just leaning in that direction even, miracles are a natural, frequent occurrence.
It's true.
Yep. All right, so I think we're wrapping this live forum up for tonight. You guys are amazing. I love all your feedback. I can only say like 4 comments at a time for some reason, so I'm going to go look at them now. Anyone watching this later, I'm going to look at those too. I get notified. We both do whenever they come up. So we're going to keep this discussion going. And mark your calendars. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be here with a new topic. If you have any topics that you would love for us to touch on soon, to bring together as this group, you can put them in the comments here. We'll definitely do them. Again, if you're interested in the spiritual weight loss method, it's andthensheshines.com/weight loss.
It starts on August 19th for 4 nights, and it's free, and it's with Linda. So if you got a lot out of tonight, you're going to love it. The woman's amazing. She's literally saved my life. I'm not even joking. She's incredible. So take advantage of it.
Thank you, Amy, so much. And
I'll go back and put the link in the description. It's in the comments, but I'll go put it in the description after we get off here.
And it's so good. I mean, this works. It works. And I love to work with like food or our bodies, or the shapes of our bodies, or the health of our bodies. I love to work with money, states of abundance, and apply these principles. I mean, we can apply them to everything, but these are kind of fun ways to see tangible results, even though you'll see great results in anywhere you do this work. All right. Thank you, Amy. I love you so much. Love what you brought here. Thank you all. I love you all so much. This community is growing and growing. Anybody you know that would like to be a part of it, you might benefit or be interested in some of these discussions, your sisters, friends, daughters, mothers, neighbors, just send them the link to this free Facebook group. The more, the merrier. I told Amy today, I have a goal that I want 10,000 people in this group by the end of 2019. And I want 100,000 women in here by the end of 2020. And we are all going to support, uplift, feed each other. We are going to be a force in this world, a force for love and healing. And nothing could make me more excited. So, love you guys.
Love you.
See you soon.
See you soon.